welcoming all listeners to this week's installation of the Chronicles podcast. I'm your host, Claire Burgess. In this episode, we'll dive into the recent aged care related coronavirus cases, highlighting the many ways of how we can help protect our most vulnerable. But first, let's take a recap of the events.
Life is changing in Australia as it is changing all around the world. Life is going to continue to change as we deal with the global coronavirus.
According to a report done by the Australian Government Department of Health, around 45 reported deaths have been linked to residential aged care facilities, also revealing that a total of 15 of them were linked to the Newmark House facility in New South Wales. As tragedies continue to unfold, I decided to seek out some answers, leading me to reach out to aged care worker Christina Adele, who gives us her insight.
I'm a community care worker and I go out to the aged care that live in their homes and I assist them with all sorts of things like medication assistance and personal care and shopping, cleaning, and most of all, social support in the home.
Now, with the recent COVID-19 events, it's clear that aged care industry has been heavily impacted. In particular, has your local facility been making any changes or preparations to help combat the issue and to protect the vulnerable?
Yes, what we do is when we arrive at the client's home, we ask them a set of questions. For example, are you unwell? Do you have any flu-like symptoms? And have you been in contact with anybody from overseas in the past 14 days? If so, we don't go in the home and we contact our supervisor and then we go from there to see what action to take. Normally, if they're unwell, we encourage them to go to the doctor, but we don't enter the home unless we're sure that it's safe enough for us. We do have PPE equipment. We can wear masks and we do wear gloves if they're unwell, but it depends on what the illness is and how severe it is.
Obviously, many residents within aged care facilities have been unable to see their family members. How would you say that your residents are coping in these times?
Well, they're all very upset. They're missing their families. It's very upsetting. We have helped them with FaceTime on the phone. For example, I got one of my clients an iPhone a couple of weeks ago and he can now see his family on the phone, so that makes it a lot easier. There are other clients that don't have that, so we have to give them as much support as we can and assure them that it won't be long before they'll be able to see them again.
Just venturing on from that, obviously when families are allowed to visit their relatives again, how would you urge people to go about it? Would you urge them to go about it in a safety approach?
Yes, they would still have to exercise the social distancing rules and hand hygiene and unfortunately no contact, which is hard at the moment until the restrictions ease, but at least they get to see them and talk to them, which is very important.
How do you in particular feel about the tragedies that have happened within numerous aged care facilities across the country? Obviously, unfortunately, a lot of lives have been lost. Do you think that the Australian government should have a duty of care to show more respect for the families?
Yes, I do. It's very, very sad what's happening in nursing homes. at the moment. The tragedy is just unbelievable. The families must be going through a lot. I think more training in those facilities would be advisable, because you can never have enough training, especially on hygiene practices, and just, you know, be more aware, just all the training that you can possibly get for these facilities to make it safer for infection control.
And do you have any final thoughts that you wanted to say to the listeners?
Yes, I would say working in aged care is very worthwhile. It's a very rewarding profession, and I wouldn't hesitate in recommending anybody that wants to get into this sort of work. It is a great job, and I really enjoy it. And I strongly, if you're that sort of person, caring person, and you can handle aged care, you know, you do see people die and things like that, then it is a very rewarding job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That brings us to the end of our segment. If you'd like more information on how you can stay protected against COVID-19, please visit the Australian Health Department at www.health.gov.au.